What's up, you guys? So, my bathing suit. So, I recently made a video. My last video that I made was our visa reset in Kuala Lumpur, and a lot of these videos might, in the next couple days, might just come out like out of order because I had other videos scheduled, but I actually wanted this video to come out first. Because it's a response to my last Kuala Lumpur video. So, as you guys know, Andrew and I took a visa reset trip to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, from Bali. I was really excited to see Kuala Lumpur because I just heard such different reviews about Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia in general. Some people were saying, like, oh my god, I loved it, and some people were just like, I didn't like it, but they wouldn't say why. And so I was just really curious about going to Kuala Lumpur and seeing it. And I don't make these videos to try to go viral. I actually really try not to go viral. If you can tell from my headlines and the thumbnails, like, I know how to make a viral video. I came from the world of media. But when I make these videos, it's just a diary. It's just a way for me to express myself, and it's public so that around the world, if there's anyone that would benefit from connecting with my videos, they can do that. So that's basically why I have this public. I have a public diary. I like it. I like being able to share my heart with anyone that wants to hear it. It's not for people that don't want to hear it. So I'm not trying to make this show up in your feed if you're not looking for it already, you know? And I'm not trying to make it catchy or exciting to watch. It's for me. It's for me and for the few people that might resonate with just me having a diary and sharing my personal thoughts and impressions about the world. I just love sharing. I love going through the world and sharing and having people to share it with. I just like that. I like traveling, exploring. I like there's no right or wrong opinion. I like being able to explore and go somewhere and say what I saw, say what I feel when I'm in that place. I'm not trying to manipulate or like attack anybody or like try to make anyone have an impression of something. So my last video was the part 2 of my impression of Kuala Lumpur while we were there. Part 2 of us being in Kuala Lumpur. And the impression that I gave was that what I felt we were there for 1 day, full day. So literally just a tiny window of time. I don't know any Malaysians except for my voice instructor, who is an angel. I love my voice instructor. That's the only Malaysian I know. I don't know anybody that's Malaysian. I don't know Malaysia. That was the first time we ever went to Malaysia, and we were there for 1 full day, 2 nights. And I just shared my impression of what it was like that day, and I was tired and sleep deprived, which I basically shared everything. I felt very restricted. I felt kind of suffocated there. Maybe it was the culture, maybe it was just like, I'm just not used to it. I'm coming from Bali. Look at what I'm wearing in Bali, okay? I'm wearing a bathing suit. That's what everybody wears. Everybody, you go out on the street in Bali, everybody's wearing a bathing suit. Some people are not wearing anything except the bathing suit. They're wearing a bikini walking outside to the shopping mart, to the grocery store. They're like, that's how people in Bali dress, okay? So I'm going from this island beach fun lifestyle to a city where the areas that we were in, like, people were just very conservative looking, to the point where the areas that we were in Kuala Lumpur, the men and women definitely weren't holding hands. They weren't even walking side by side. You had men walking in 10 steps in front, and then women completely covered with like tiny peoples walking all the way back. They're juggling children all by themselves while the husband is walking all the way in the front. That's just what I saw, okay? So maybe you have a different view of Kuala Lumpur, okay? that was my view of Kuala Lumpur. You have your impression of the world and your experiences. This is my time to shine, my experience. This is what I saw. And another thing that I noticed is that people there are very patriotic, but it also seems a little bit like kind of forced patriotic. Like people are kind of like, everybody on every single unit has the same exact flag in a certain way. And it's like, you know, the impression that I got was that maybe people are being kind of pressured to speak a certain way about their country, which is fine. A lot of countries are like this. I'm not from a country that's like that. I'm from the United States, where you can basically stomp on the US flag and burn it in public and they don't care. Nobody cares. And the people that care are the weirdos, you know? So that's just my culture, my that's just, I'm telling you what my, you know, and then I'm just telling you my impression, you know? I'm not saying this to try to like form people's opinions about Malaysia. I don't care. I mean, I do care to the extent that I care about humans. I love people. I love, you know, experiencing things and sharing with you guys. But I'm not trying to like I don't have a motivation to bash Kuala Lumpur, you know? And the shopping was great. It was great shopping. There's so many malls. But the impression that I got is like, first of all, the people that liked Kuala Lumpur were very different from the people that didn't seem to like Kuala Lumpur. The people that didn't seem to like Kuala Lumpur before we went were mostly people from Bali. And the people that are usually attracted to Bali are people that are wearing bathing suits, people that are very artsy and free-spirited. That's the kind of people that Bali attracts, okay? So if the very free-spirited types of people are saying that they don't like Kuala Lumpur, and if when I ask them, why don't you like Kuala Lumpur, they're not sharing with me, well, maybe they just don't feel comfortable. Why don't the free-spirited people feel comfortable to share? Because this is the impression that I'm getting. Maybe people in Kuala Lumpur, maybe it's just a different type of culture. Maybe it's more restricted in Kuala Lumpur. And maybe it's okay to just admit that Kuala Lumpur is a more restricted place than Bali. Like, why can't we just be honest and admit the obvious? But you know what? You can't, because you are not allowed to. I can because I don't live in Malaysia, okay? So, and I'm not here to try to influence anybody's opinion. Again, this is my personal diary that I'm sharing, okay? I noticed that maybe because Kuala Lumpur is a big city, we were there for a short time, it just seemed colder and more restricted and less friendly than Bali, Indonesia. And people in Bali are just different people. They're just different people. And that is what I noticed. And I wasn't trying to say it in a bad way. Actually, I thought my video was just being very curious and nice and whatever. It was, again, my diary. But I somehow got this video, got on a list, on a Malaysia list. And my no-name channel that nobody watches, the only people that watch my channel are like my close friends, like people that know me, or like people that like around the world, like I said, like very specific types of people watch my channel. But it got on like some Malaysia list, and now it's like blowing up. It's going viral with a group of Malaysians that are so insulted by the video that I made, which was just us going through town. And actually it was not really like you guys can go back and watch it, Kuala Lumpur Part 2. I mean, first of all, it's not that interesting. Like, how is this video going viral with like just us like going through the streets and just filming through the streets? That's how it is. You know, a lot of countries don't let you film in their country. Kuala Lumpur does, fortunately, which yay for Kuala Lumpur in my book. But even if it wasn't yay in my book, who cares what I think, right? Because I'm not a Malaysian and I don't live in Malaysia. And that was a very, very short trip that I took there. But like, you see where I'm getting at, where like the impression that I got to begin with, that like this place kind of feels restricted. The people that are talking about it are only being very, very, very manicured about the way they speak about this place. And the people that don't feel like praising it, don't feel like explaining why. They're just like, oh, just, you know, you'd have to see for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, they're not really wanting to share. Why don't they want to share? Why don't they feel comfortable to share? And conversely, why are the people that are praising this place being so militant about it? Well, maybe I was right. Maybe I was right. Maybe it's just a place that is more restricted. And you know what? Maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that's just how some countries are. Some countries are more restricted in certain ways. Some countries like to preserve their image more. They have more, and you know what? All countries like to preserve their image in different ways. You know what? The US has all kinds of propaganda machines. Russia has all kinds of propaganda machines. All countries around the world has all kinds of ways that they preserve their image. They just all do it differently. And in Malaysia, I just felt like that's just how I felt. Okay? So like, sue me. I don't know. Like, these videos they are not for public opinion. They are my diary. I talk shit about whatever I feel like because that's what I like. That's what gets me off, is to share with the people around the world that want to hear my innermost impressions. And you know what? The way I see the world, the way you see the world, the way that guy sees the world is gonna look totally different. You're gonna see the same person, and I will say it's beautiful. You will say it's ugly. The other person will say, I don't even see a person, I see a rat. Like, the impression of the world that you're gonna get is gonna be so different from everybody. So this is like my personal channel, and I really appreciate to like all the people of Malaysia that are like boosting my channel views. Like, I really appreciate that. But yeah, I just also want to say that I feel like this really goes in line with my first impression of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And like, we had some conversations in the cars and the Ubers and like talking to people, and like, yeah, there's different, Malaysia's a big country, there's different like parts. There's like different islands and different parts of it that are more liberal or more conservative, like socially, not talking about the, politically. It's more just people can be more relaxed on certain islands and certain parts. And yeah, there's people that were wearing shorts, which we mentioned in the video. There's people that, but like, most importantly, I tried to film as much as possible so you guys can watch the video and see what I'm seeing. But yeah, compared to what I'm used to, which I mentioned a million times in the video, compared to what I'm used to, Bali, where people walk around in bathing suits, yeah, Kuala Lumpur is very conservative and very suffocating. I'm sorry. It's a big city. You know what? A lot of people feel like it's really hard to go from a big city, from island life, like island bathing suit life, to a big city. Doesn't matter where in the world it is. A lot of people feel like that, and so, I just don't, like, I felt like I spent so much of my life in politics trying to manage the offendedness of people that I really don't care. Like, I like, this is a huge free world with all kinds of content for you guys to watch. Unless you're being paid by your government to like propagandize and like try to censor the channel, like some random person that doesn't even live in your country, then I really don't understand why you would give a shit. So that's just, that's just like me putting it out there. It's going to be all kinds of people in the world. You're going to have all kinds of different impressions. All I will say is thank you for bringing views to my channel. That's all I would say. But yeah. I really feel like this Kuala Lumpur video, which I never usually get so many views on a video because my views are like no name. My videos are no name videos, sometimes I don't even have a description, it's just my diary. So I feel like the reaction that I'm getting to that video, which was so benign, is like, so it really proves what I was, it proves my first impression in the first place. So, okay, see you guys in the next one.